Welcome back to another episode of Caps Off. Today is Recap Monday. We're going to recap this weekend of moves that happened.
Big weekend.
There were some big NFL moves. But before we do that, we do have to shout out our friends, No House Advantage, NHA. Don't forget, you got to go sign up. Link is in our bio. Felipe, you want to shed some light on what that is? What's special about NHA that the people need to know?
Not to be confused with NIL potentially. You know,
that was
I wasn't confused.
I just want to make sure.
Pretty different from
NHA.
NIL.
And no
NHA.
house advantage?
No house advantage, so the house doesn't have an advantage. That's what that means. So, like, essentially, right, when you bet, traditionally, you always lose.
Yeah.
Because the house always wins, as the
Fuck the house. I hate the
saying
house.
goes.
Fuck the house.
Well, no house advantage, apparently, they don't have an advantage, so you could win more. It's fun. It's like one of those over-under for, like, player props. And so
Daily
I could go, like,
fantasy.
if like daily fantasy stuff. So, like, a few NBA games tonight, let's say, like, Luka's playing, Steph's playing, whatever. I could go over on Luka's points, under on Steph's, and get five little parlay together. That's actually, like, probably, could happen.
Yeah.
And then make money off of that. So, it's pretty fun.
That's always fun. You're like watching a random game that you don't really. It's like right now. It's like right before March Madness. Not really much going on. But you're like, all right. Well, I got to be entertained somehow. Let's throw a 5-game, same-game parlay on right now. Because it's not technically a parlay. Exactly. It's not technically betting. It's daily fantasy.
It's also better than like fantasy basketball. Fantasy basketball, it's like it's fine, but like if you every day have different players that you could root for and just like over-unders, things like that, usually not too hard, especially like
my favorite one of those is over-under on rebounds. Just really rooting for a guy to grab some boards.
That's a tough one.
That's a good one.
I also think just over-unders in general from a basketball perspective are way more fun because it's a gut feeling. You could take a gut feeling on like that person's going to have 20, 30 or more. So it's just like over-unders are fun.
So right now they have soccer, NBA, and NHL, and when NFL season comes back around, you can definitely use NHA. So if you want to win big with player prop contests, go to NHA. There's a link in our bio. And NHA is giving away 100% deposit match for up to $100 with the code CAPSOFF in all caps. So be sure to sign up. Go to the link in the bio and bet with NHA.
Yeah, that means if you put down $100 in the deposit, they'll add 100 more. So you'll have 200. And then you can bet with that and get fucking rich.
Easy. I mean, like, I don't know why you wouldn't,
I can't wait till NFL season comes back and I can bet overs on punts and field goals and primetime games. That's my favorite thing.
It's going to be fun, man.
The punts in the primetime games are always
I love
a
just
good
betting.
one.
Well, you're watching a shitty-ass Thursday night football game, and everybody's like, oh, this game sucks. And you're just excited as fuck because every time they punt, that's a good thing for you.
Thursday night football, that's why I'm like, give me these punts. But the turnovers really fuck you there, though. That's where you can't have turnovers.
Yeah.
All right, so definitely be sure to sign up for
NHA, baby.
Check it out.
Code CAPS off, all caps.
Yeah. But huge weekend for the NFL.
Huge weekend. Oh, tingling.
Adam, I guess
Moore?
I guess we'll start with your Dolphins. We're doing our recap, so let's go. We'll rattle through them.
If we don't have to start with them, if we don't want
We
to.
got it. It's my first on my list here. So the Dolphins got Jalen Ramsey.
Yes, they did.
Very exciting.
You see my smile?
Yeah, I do. You're happy about that?
Dude. Oh my God.
How do you feel about the Dolphins getting Jalen Ramsey?
I feel the Miami Dolphins are now the best team in the AFC East.
I'm just going to let you cook. Just keep going.
Did you hear what he said?
Did you hear what I said?
I already
He said the
said.
Dolphins are the best team in the AFC East.
I do.
It's not that blasphemous.
That's not crazy to say.
The Bills have gone downhill quite a bit from 2021 to 22. They regressed a lot, and then obviously you were the one talking about they've lost a few players this year, so they're getting worse. The Jets, if they get Aaron Rodgers, and they're clearly better than the Dolphins.
They're not clearly better than
I
the
would not
Dolphins.
say that.
And a sleeper team is the Patriots when they get Lamar Jackson.
How could you say that?
Do you actually?
Wait,
Okay.
When?
I was just gonna say,
Not
do
if.
you actually think Jalen Ramsey is going to move the needle that much for the Dolphins?
Jalen Ramsey was the third
Single-handedly?
best cornerback in the NFL
Bro.
after Sauce Gardner, after Pat Surtain.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
This year?
This
DJ
year, he was
Reed.
who?
DJ Reed
says
was better.
PFF. He was the third
I
best
don't give a fuck
graded.
about PFF.
The
Jalen Ramsey had a down year.
The
He
reason
probably
you
wasn't a top five
talk, the
corner this
reason
past year.
you talk about Sauce Gardner and Pat
Jalen
Surtain being
Ramsey
so
said
good is that
Jalen Ramsey said himself he wasn't a top five corner this year.
it doesn't matter his grade. The reason you put Sauce Gardner in your top elite things, you
Nah,
use
it's 'cause he
PFF
shuts
grades.
it.
Okay.
No.
If Jalen Ramsey,
that's
okay,
not
so
why at all.
let me just
When
ask
did
you
I
a
ever
question.
say that?
If Jalen, what do you mean? You always
When
use
did I ever say
PFF.
how Sauce Gardner won because of his PFF grade?
You just picked Sauce Gardner in your draft
Did I
and
say
said
I
he's the
got
best
him
corner in the
because of his
NFL.
PFF grade?
No, but you used the
I
PFF
never
grade.
mentioned his PFF grade.
Okay.
So
you want to know how much that Jalen Ramsey trade did move the needle, though?
The
Their
odds.
odds before the Super Bowl, plus 3,500. Their odds today, plus
3,500. The
3,500.
Miami Dolphins
didn't do shit.
The Miami Dolphins were not a lethal team at all last year, not because of their offense, but because of their defense. They had a terrible defense. They had pieces around, but a terrible defense. When the Dolphins were healthy, when Tua was healthy on offense, they had the best offense in the NFL. That's not even a subjective thing from a stats perspective. They were the most prolific scoring offense in the NFL.
Fine, but Jalen Ramsey, one individual corner, is going to change their defense to be
Absolutely.
A superstar can.
The Miami Dolphins have superstars at every cornerstone position. You have 2 lockdown corners in Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey. You have Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb now on the edge. You have Javon
You say
Holland.
those guys are superstars?
I think
Bradley
Chubb.
Bradley Chubb healthy.
They're Pro Bowlers. I don't think they're superstars.
Pro
If
Bowlers
you're
are
Pro
good.
Bowlers,
They're
okay,
good.
so
You
then
got a
let's
team of
rephrase.
Pro
They can be a
Bowlers.
star. They're stars.
That's
Okay, so
pretty
then
good.
let's rephrase. The Miami Dolphins
one
at every
superstar and 3
cornerstone
stars.
position have Pro Bowlers, which can get
Yeah.
you to the Super Bowl. Javon Holland is a budding superstar at safety. You got 2 lockdown corners. You got 2 edge
Is
rushers.
Xavier Howard a lockdown corner still, though?
I think he
said had
wasn't
a
as
really
good. I think he
down year
was
last
hurt
year.
a lot. But the problem is when you're
quite the
when you're
question.
forced to be your number one with no one else, yeah, you're going to struggle because our pass rush sucked, our entire scheme sucked. I just think the Miami Dolphins, yes, trading for a Jalen Ramsey where you could have 2 corners be locked down. With 2 edge rushers, a safety back there, and a defense led by Vic Fangio, who is one of the best DCs in the entire NFL. Yes, it moves the needle.
But your coach is a dork.
I love that.
Objectively.
I love
I
that.
think Fangio is one of the best DCs in the league.
Yeah, that's
Was he
No,
there?
he is.
How long has he
He's
been
a
there?
dog.
How long was he there?
he hasn't been.
Oh, so he just got there.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was with the Eagles. He was.
he was
Vic
one with the
Fangio-
Eagles.
Well, he
and
wasn't necessary. He was an advisor to the
No,
Eagles
Vic-
this year. He took
Where
time
was he
that's a
off.
fact.
Where was he
Vic
before
Fangio was an
that?
awesome
He was on
D
the Broncos.
coordinator.
Bradley Chubb became Bradley Chubb because he was
And-
with Bradley Chubb involved.
And Vic
Bradley
Fangio
Chubb-
before that was the D coordinator for the Bears, and they had one of the best defenses
Correct.
in all of football.
The Miami Dolphins right now, the reason I say they're the best in the AFC East is because their defense sucked. Now you have pieces all over. You're saying right now you pick up to his
Well,
5th-year
pieces all over.
option.
You add one piece.
What do you mean?
They got a lot. of
Jalen
pieces,
Phillips and
subjective.
Bradley
they
Chubb.
added. Well, they
Javon
added.
Holland.
You forget about Emmanuel.
No, they had a horrible defense. They added one piece. You just said you have pieces all over. You had pieces
And
all
their
over.
other
Minus
DN that
one.
they
Now you
gave a
added
fuck
one.
ton of money was injured the entire year last year. Brandon Jones, their other safety, completely went out in like week 4, and then they're about to add Jordan Poyer. If you had a Jordan Poyer,
they are.
They are. Yeah.
Insider information right
Yeah,
here.
yeah, my sources confirm. My Twitter sources. I just look, again.
Free agency hasn't even started, so
You're like
Starts
tracking
today,
Jordan
though.
Poyer's private jet and everything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Twitter sources. No, I just think like, again, let's take everything I say with a grain of salt. But when you look at the Miami Dolphins and you're
got better.
adding all those pieces on paper, they might be the best team in the AFC East. And I think if they can stay healthy, all signs are pointing to them being an AFC contender.
Would you put him in that top 2-3 conversation in the AFC then if all that happens?
I think right now, if you look at the AFC is obviously the Chiefs up top, but and you'd probably put the Bengals too, but you can make a case depending on how free agency goes that the Dolphins are at 2 just on paper. We're not talking about performance, just on paper.
I mean, on paper, the Bengals are nasty as hell too, though. Like,
Okay, but again, from a positional standpoint, now I was watching. I was reading rumors on Twitter they might get Patrick Peterson, which would be crazy if the Bengals got him.
He's way past his prime.
Again, though, we're not
He's a big
expecting.
name, but he's
we're
not.
not expecting crazy production. We're expecting.
I mean,
paper.
On paper,
it's surely
yeah.
an upgrade over Eli Apple.
I just
Yeah.
think
Has to be.
so. Yes, to answer your question, I
Like-
would on paper because that's all I can go off of
put
right
them at
now.
3?
I'd probably put the Dolphins 3 in the AFC. Yeah, I would. Even with Aaron Rodgers, I just don't think
with Aaron Rodgers
In New
on,
York.
on
yes,
the Jets.
with the Jet
Yeah,
on the Jets.
yeah.
I wasn't the reason I was terrified as a Dolphins fan is because our secondary sucked. But now you have Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard, and now you begin to look at all the pieces that could come together. The Dolphins are a lethal fucking team.
Here's the thing, and
You guys
I
just hate them.
I like Tua a lot, but at the same time, you have these guys in the AFC at the quarterback position that are so elite that it's going to be
agree.
hard to compete unless you build a team like you've been building around Tua.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious when it comes down to in the playoffs, can you beat a Joe Burrow? Can you beat a Patrick Mahomes? Can you beat even a Justin Herbert or a Trevor Lawrence? Like,
Well, that's
the
assuming-
AFC's loaded, or then an Aaron Rodgers. If
So
he's
who
there.
would you rank the
Josh
AFC
Allen? I didn't even
team?
mention Josh
That's
Allen.
assuming Tua doesn't improve, though. Tua's going to keep getting
So
better,
how-
I would assume.
I think he's going to keep
Tua's
getting
good,
better.
but I don't think he's ever going to be at that their
agree.
level. Like,
Totally, but at the same time, when you look at the AFC, what you're banking on is okay. Well, the Bengals have 2 stud wide receivers, right? Can I stop those wide receivers? Ideally, my corners hopefully can match up with them. When I look at the Chiefs, I got 3 different types of pieces that potentially could stick with a Travis Kelce, whether that be X, whether that be a Jalen Ramsey, whether that be a Javon Holland. They could try. I'm not going to say that it's going to be successful, but so be it. The Bills, when I look at the Bills, they're regressing tremendously. You got to add an Adam Thielen potential. You got to add weapons around Josh Allen. You got to
Thielen,
get
man.
another running back. But Outside of that, yeah, I would say the Chargers don't scare me at all. The Jags, if anything, are budding. I'm excited to see what they are with Calvin Ridley.
Nice.
But again, I come back down to pieces. And the Dolphins have pieces to match every other person in the AFC. So while everyone's looking at the quarterback position, I'm looking at the defense.
The Chargers had pieces last year. They had hella pieces last
but
year.
they didn't
You
manage.
got to play together. You got to play together. Also, I think Ramsey does make the Dolphins defense better. I think his regression was overrated. I don't think he's as bad as he played last year. He had a bad season.
It was also one of those teams you have no motivation to do anything. Like there was no direction.
When Aaron
for the
Donald
Rams.
gets hurt,
He was too, but also that part of that's his fault. He cared too much about being on the media, which I don't care. That's awesome. But I'm saying that definitely had to play a part in his play going down. He would lose games and be on his little podcast right after the game doing the whole thing, kind of like Brian does with the shop or whatever it is. What was the show called?
No, it's like Draymond Green.
I think it might have been with the pivot. With Ryan Clark's, I don't know.
Who? Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey had his own little
but also
thing.
like let's not even if you don't like PFF grading, let's not sit here and act like being the third best graded cornerback from PFF is not something that says he's regressed tremendously.
The Super Bowl year, he was the best corner in football.
Regressed tremendously from being by far the best corner, kind of like what Patrick Peterson used to be, what Darrelle Revis used to be, to now being probably not. Well, as you said, he's third on PFF, so he's not top 2 on PFF.
I feel like Jalen Ramsey
is still fine, but he's not the lockdown like he was being compared to Dion. That's why I'm saying he's regressed.
I will say, I feel like the thing though with him with Jalen Ramsey is that a lot of times you see corners that are really dominant for a couple years, year or two here and there. Jalen Ramsey's been dominant for almost 10 years this point, almost entire NFL career.
He's been one of the best corners for a long time.
Yeah.
The last 2 years, he's
probably been the best corner for
7 years.
3 or
2
4
years ago, he was rated number 1 by PFF.
The better part of 10 years.
Yeah. 2 years ago, he was rated number 1 by PFF. Last year, he was rated the third best corner. Again, I'm not sitting here expecting you. I don't even need you to be the number 1 corner in the NFL. You traded a 3rd round pick for Jalen Ramsey.
And some fucking
great value.
tight ends.
And Hunter Long.
It's a fucking steal.
I'll never understand NFL trades. It makes no sense how you can get a superstar corner. I still don't.
You offload a contract, so that's part of. You don't need a first round pick.
Well,
the Dolphins are paying to take on that contract. That's part of what they've
already
Dolphins are
restructured.
taking
So
on.
how much are they paying Jalen Ramsey?
So his cap at this year is $17 million, but down that's going to be converted into a signing bonus to have flexibility and go get others. So the cap doesn't make sense at all in the NFL. It's all a figment. If you have a rich owner, it's by far the best thing in the NFL.
To the common folk like me and
Jack.
Jack.
I'm not in the fucking nitty-gritty.
It doesn't make sense of why would you trade
talk about
if you just a third round pick for a guy who's so valuable like Jalen
So let's
Ramsey.
break it down. Then.
I just don't get it because in the NBA you got to trade. If you're gonna get a superstar, you got to trade a star.
For superstar or superstar for first overall.
It's
also,
just in MLB everything.
It's worth noting also that Jalen Ramsey. There were other teams that wanted to trade for Jalen Ramsey. I saw the Detroit Lions were willing to offer a first or a second. He wanted to go to Miami. So the price that someone's willing to a price to go one place is a different price to go another place. So Jalen Ramsey wanted another contract. The Dolphins were willing to get it. He wanted to go to Miami. So he vocalized that. The Lions were allegedly willing to give up a first or a second. So they probably could have got better deals elsewhere. But we're in a player empowerment stage.
Did Jalen Ramsey have a no trade clause or some shit like that?
No, but the Rams wanted to do right by him allegedly.
Oh, fuck that shit. I'm gonna get that first round pick from the Lions.
But it's not just about the Rams. It's who else is? You're not going to trade for him if he's not going to. You want more money. He got more money. He got more guaranteed money. I just think in Miami, but it's then going to be converted. So. Well, can we rank then? Let's rank the AFC teams now that Miami has Jalen Ramsey, and let's assume Aaron Rodgers is in New York. Let's assume.
We're going to assume that?
Let's assume. Or we can do 2 different types of rankings. But
we can do that.
We did it briefly on Friday.
Supposedly, the deal with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets is all but finished. They're just waiting on Aaron.
Well, I can go down that rabbit hole too. The Jets look like they could Jets it up, as Jack said.
They're the Jets.
Oh, I do think they're going to Jets it.
Well, I mean, they haven't gotten them, so right now it's if they don't get them, then they're not jetting it. They just don't get them.
Yeah, but the waiting game is worrisome.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
It is the most Jetsy thing ever to build this suspense that you're getting superstar Hall of Fame quarterback Aaron Rodgers, and then tomorrow for us to hear Rodgers to fucking wherever else.
You ask any Jets fan too, and they'll say the same shit.
Yep, it would be the most classic Jets thing ever for that to happen. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I feel like at this point the suspense is too built up. It would be ridiculous if they couldn't close this out here. But my God, would it be on brand?
Or to the Patriots or some shit.
Or just or just something.
Well,
right now it feels
brand.
like Aaron Rodgers is either going to go to the Jets or retire. But
Yeah.
I just think there's something to be said, and Adam Schefter said it best. It's like if you were to go on a date with a girl and she didn't hit you back for a week, you'd be like,
What the
you're
fuck?
probably not into me.
Oh,
So
well,
Adam Schefter said that?
Adam
At
Schefter
that
said
point,
that.
you get back on Hinge, you keep swiping, doing your
Yep.
thing. Yeah, you keep going.
Yeah,
I just think, but like, I think it's safe to assume that he will go, right? Like it's 12, the free agency begins at 12 o'clock. So my guess is he would probably actually go on McAfee tomorrow and announce it. That just feels like an Aaron Rodgers thing.
that would be.
It does.
Announce it on
Like he controls his narrative. He always has. But
So, yeah, man.
so let's just assume Aaron Rodgers
Okay.
goes to the Jets.
All right.
Rank the AFC teams. Now, I don't know if are we going to do this from a democracy standpoint, or are we going to all have our own? Because
democracy could be fun. Votes could be fun. I don't know.
We're gonna differ though.
we are going to differ.
Well,
Why
I
don't
think
you?
we all
Yeah,
go Chiefs
I feel
one.
like Adam really wants to give his list. So why don't we?
Yeah,
give you
that's
floor,
the
bro?
reason he asked this is because he just wants to be like,
You got the floor.
Adam, who's your
Dolphins.
AFC rankings? If Aaron
Give a
Rodgers
smile.
goes to the Jets,
he's giddy.
what is the ranking? What does the ranking look like in
Why are
the
you scratching
AFC?
yourself so
I
much?
just feel because again, like
What's the heart rate at?
It's making him itch.
I actually feel very calm. It's a weird calm. 82.
Not bad.
Well, that was 6 minutes ago, so we need to. We'll update in 30 seconds.
Appreciate that. That's a
Nah,
big
if I'm-
ass Apple Watch.
Yeah,
Holy
no, it's a Tamagotchi, as Amanda said. If I was ranking the AFC teams based off of Miami getting Jalen Ramsey trade, I go the Chiefs 1. I go Miami 2, again, because this is on paper, and I saw what the Dolphins could do when they had a healthy offense. So that's that. 3, I go the Bengals. 4, I go.
crazy.
4, I go. If Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets, I go then the Jets. Then I go the Bills. Then
Jaguars don't exist?
then I go Jags, and
Dude,
then I
you're
go
crazy.
Dude, the Jags. The only reason and then I go the Chargers. The only reason the Jags we're talking about them, they made the playoffs. They went 9-8 in a shitty division. I think they're a great team, and they're
Did you see how
budding.
they played the second half of the year and then won a
Yes,
playoff game?
but again, if they're in another division, that doesn't happen. Like they benefited from having a lesser division.
How can you say that if they're in another division that doesn't happen, they went 9-8 and they beat a team that was in a supposedly harder division in the playoffs?
AFC West, yeah.
Again, credit to them.
So it doesn't matter,
What I'm
like-
saying, but half the argument on the Jags is they made the playoffs and they won a playoff game. I'm saying that A, we've never ever thought highly of the Chargers, and B, the Jags being 9-8 making the playoffs is a byproduct of a shitty division. They were great. They're the best team
He
in that
also has the
division.
Nah, it's a
Dolphins too,
byproduct
so
of
his
having
list
one
is
of the best
ridiculous
quarterbacks in the
anyway.
league.
Yeah, that's a byproduct
His
of
list is
second-year
ridiculous for
quarterback.
other reasons. It's
And
not
you,
the
dude,
Jaguars
you even say
being
like
that
Trevor
low.
Lawrence is one of the greatest prospects we've ever seen come out of college into the NFL, and he came into his own last year, and he's only going to
not
get
putting
better
him at
'cause he's
5.
adding
He
one
put
more
the
weapon.
Dolphins too, and you're taking his list seriously.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's a good point.
It's a ridiculous list.
No,
No
it's a
matter
great,
what.
it's a great list. It's a great list.
The
It's a great
Dolphins
list.
are not in the
Take-
top 3.
No.
The Dolphins are definitely 3.
If the
three.
Jets get
I
Rodgers,
If the Jets get
Yes.
Rodgers, the Dolphins are not in the top 3.
Tell me why, if the Jets get Aaron Rodgers, tell me why they're a better team than the Miami Dolphins.
because they have a better quarterback.
Yes.
So,
Point
so the,
blank.
By a lot.
And
so
the
the team
pieces
doesn't
are-
matter?
Huh?
The team doesn't. The
The
team
team,
doesn't.
they have a,
They have an
their
amazing
team is,
team.
Their team is
We've been
stacked,
saying
bro.
all
Okay, so let's go
offseason.
start. Let's go down.
I could argue they have a better coaching staff too.
What makes you say that?
Well, now you got Vic Fangio.
I like the way they're run.
Everything you said, but like Robert Saleh has proven to be a really good coach. As a coordinator, one in San Francisco,
But he
and
does
in
have
New
a
York,
first-year
he's been-
offensive coordinator
and
coming in
In New
now.
York, he's been building a system. So let's see how that system goes. But what we've seen when he's been in command of a unit, it's been really good.
They've had one good year. Robert Saleh's been there, what, 3 years, 4 years? I love him as a head coach.
This is
This is-
second. This is second.
is-
Or
yeah,
this
he's
will
not-
be his
this
third.
is-
This will be his
it's
third.
gonna be
He
his
just
third
finished
Robert
second.
Saleh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
He's
just finished his
coached like 2
second.
years.
Yeah.
No, this is going on his like
Nah, you
third
don't
or
have to
fourth
look it up. He
year.
was in San Francisco like 3 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Well,
I want to know, why would you say the Jets besides a quarterback?
the quarterback.
Let's go. Wide receivers aren't better. Offensive
Wide
line isn't
receivers
better.
are very good.
offensive line is getting good.
It's getting good, but it's not. They're a
got some
comparable
pieces.
offensive line.
I
Blake
think-
Tomlinson's good.
Comparable.
Kai Becton's good.
comparable. They don't have a all
If you
pro
add
left tackle.
Rodgers to the Garrett Wilson and Elijah
Moore,
And then,
Who do we
defense,
think
and
is
then
gonna
de- and then
both become
defensively, I think I would
superstars?
take the Jets by far over the Dolphins.
Again,
I
why?
would too.
Because they have better. They're
Quentin
better
Williams,
team.
Sauce
They have
Gardner,
better
Down the
DJ
pieces.
Reed.
pieces.
They have
Sauce
better
Gardner, DJ
pieces.
Reed. Okay, Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed's the best corner duo in football. Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
it's
The
not-
Miami Dolphins have a better
That's
corner
two
duo
top-
right now.
No, they don't.
Xavier Howard's better than DJ Reed.
No, he's
Sauce-
not.
No,
Yes,
he's not.
he
Look
is.
at
he's not.
PFF. Go
Oh,
on
now we want to bring up
PFF.
PFF?
Yeah,
Xavier
you're the
Howard's-
one that wants to
you're the
bring up
one that-
Xavier
PFF,
Howard
so
had-
I'm flipping
and
it
I'm
on
saying
you.
Xavier
Where was-
Howard had a bad year.
Where
but if
was
you
he
want
on
to take
PFF?
Xavier Howard, he should be terrible. He had a bad year.
So? All
right,
but,
so then-
but what I'm saying is, I'm not just going to take
then
1
your-
year. The same
your
reason you put Aaron
argument-
Your
Rodgers.
argument for Jalen Ramsey.
So your argument for
is
Jalen
PFF.
Ramsey is invalid now.
Yeah, that's fair. I just think, okay, I think the Dolphins corner duo, they're not light years better. So you take that. What about edge rushers? Who you think is the most important position?
I don't know. Quinn Williams is better than
He's not an edge.
any person
Quinn
on
Williams
that
is the
Dolphins
best
defense.
defensive lineman out of both teams.
Christian Wilkins was graded higher, had more tackles, everything than Quinn Williams.
Quinn Williams was
continue.
better, much better than Wilkins.
Christian Wilkins had better stats.
Well, looking at the eye test,
Who's on the edge?
personally, I
Who's,
think.
better linebackers, Jets. Who's on the?
Yeah, the Dolphins have the worst linebacker.
Is Marcus May or whatever his name is the safety on the Jets?
No, he got traded.
He
Javon
left,
Allen's
to
a
New
better
Orleans, right?
safety.
He went to New
Javon
Orleans.
Holland's good.
Javon Allen's a better safety.
Who's the safeties for the Jets?
That's all you need to know. You don't even know.
That's
point.
not the point. Like we don't know names off the top. But
you're
if you
going
say
off,
names,
But the Dolphins' defense was terrible, and they had
I'm
all
not a
these
Jets
injuries.
fan, bro.
But
Like, you
again,
can't bring that up. You're a Dolphins fan.
Jets
Like, you're gonna know
defense was
every
amazing.
name.
But also, here's the thing: like when you're talking about like on paper they should be number 2. On paper, the Chargers could be the third best
You're
team in the
100%
AFC.
right, but
we know because of their track record that they're not. And Brandon Staley is
To
not
be
that
fair,
guy.
you did specify that your ranking was an on-paper ranking.
yes, it is. The Dolphins, don't get me wrong, the Jets had a great defense last year, and they were one of the best. I just think when you get healthy pieces back, I'm going to take their defense and go head-to-head, and I think the Dolphins are a better team than the Jets. That's it.
And then at quarterback, I mean, one is light years ahead of the
Yeah,
other.
I don't disagree with
It's
that.
a-
But
it's
Tua
ve-
also
it's
had a
close.
great
I
Tua
think
also had a
it's
good
close,
year when
though.
healthy.
Tua's good. Tua's good, but he's not Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Aaron
the
Rodgers
team,
is top 3 all time.
Aaron Rodgers is better than
Really?
Tua, but
Probably.
the
He's
Dolphins
up
have a
there.
better team than the Jets, and that's why I put them over the Jets.
Wait, actually, I kind of want to just go down that real quick. If you
What'd you
Aaron
just say?
Rodgers, he said Aaron Rodgers might be top 3 all time.
Yeah.
Just talent wise, I feel like there's an
Yeah,
argument there.
I'll probably go.
He only got 1 Super Bowl to his name though.
I can't refute
That's
it.
fine. I'd probably go Brady, Montana, Rodgers.
I think I would go Manning over Rodgers.
Manny has 2 rings, but his second
Yeah.
was bullshit.
Mahomes is a better player than Rodgers.
Yeah, Mahomes could
Yeah.
be 1 if we're talking talent.
I'm not mad about saying that.
Anyways, all
I
I'm
know. I'm
saying
just
is
glad you got. I know you're a Montana guy.
Mahomes
so-
also
yeah.
has another Super Bowl already. Then
You got to also understand, like,
That is
it's
crazy.
but Rodgers has
Already.
way more stats.
Yeah.
Like, all that.
you got to understand. I'm emotional right now.
I know you should be happy.
emotional.
you should be
Y'all
excited.
got better. Y'all
Dolphins
got
are-
better.
Dolphins are good.
I placed a couple
Hey,
bets.
you're
I
better
feel
today
good.
than you were yesterday.
But you just can't say you're better than the Bengals yet, who have proven to be good.
You can't.
Consistent
Yeah.
year after year.
You can't. But I
But
did.
But you just did. But he just did.
All right. Well, let's
What's
move.
what's your list?
Oh,
we
my
haven't.
list?
None of us have even said our list at all. We've
Come
just
on.
been going off.
we need
yours.
some. We need some
Give a
like
quick list.
we need some credibility.
I mean, the Chiefs, Bengals.
You might say.
Jets with Rodgers. Remember that this is a list.
Yeah, I know. It's
considering-
Jets with
also,
Rodgers. but,
don't
like,
just like come in here and like want to push the Dolphins down because I came in and hot.
I
Nah, we all
just
do that, though.
don't think the Dolphins are that good.
well,
I just don't. You're asking for my list.
You guys
I
got a
just
good
don't-
fullback though.
I don't think they're that good. Like
Alec Ingold.
Alec Ingold might put you over the.
Hey,
over
important
the hump.
position.
nothing yet about them has proven to me like, okay, I'm going to put them in my top 3. So I just don't feel that, and it's a Plums pick, you know.
It's a Plums
In my
pick.
Plums, I don't
Yep.
feel like they're a top 3 team. I don't.
Okay.
I still would take the Bills over them. I guess Rodgers on the Jets. I would take the Jets over them, though.
The Jets is closer than you think, though.
I also
like-
think that I'm also nervous about Rodgers on the Jets. I'm not going to lie because Rodgers just had a terrible year in
Nah,
Green
not
Bay.
terrible, but bad.
wasn't
His
good.
team was terrible,
Average.
and the Jets are the Jets. So putting a declining
Yeah,
Rodgers on a miserable
Yeah.
franchise,
Yeah.
who knows how that's going to play?
So
out.
Aaron Rodgers, you put Aaron Rodgers in the Jets 4 or 3?
No.
You put Bills 3.
Yeah, I'm going to put the Bills.
You know what, Adam?
Wait, I want to finish.
I'm going to put the Bills 3 because I still think Josh Allen has it, and I still think like
That team
I
is
still
getting
think-
worse.
Yeah, I know they got worse, but I still think
Who's
they're-
your 4? Jets.
like maybe the Jets.
Plums
Jags?
pick. What's your Plums feel?
Yeah, Jets, Jags are
5?
up there. I would even I would take the Jags over the Dolphins, and then I would
Cool.
take the Dolphins.
6, 7.
Well, it doesn't really matter after that. 'cause it's
Chargers?
Dolphins, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Chargers. Maybe,
Chargers.
yeah.
Okay.
Chargers maybe,
We have the
right?
same types of teams in it.
I'll go Chiefs, Bengals. That's the easy one too. Then 3. Shit, because if Rodgers goes to the Jets, I probably go Jags 3.
I like it.
Jags 3.
Plums. It's
Then
the
I'll
plums.
go Dolphins 4.
Thank you.
And then I'll go Jets, then I'll go Bills. And then it doesn't really matter after that. Maybe fucking Ravens, I guess.
With or without Lamar, we just don't know.
Well, I'm just assuming he's still there. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
If Lamar's still there, then yeah.
if Lamar goes to the Patriots though.
If Lamar's still there, I'll take them over the Chargers too.
I also
honestly.
think the Jets are a better team with Lamar than Aaron Rodgers, but that's a whole
I agree.
different story.
Completely agree.
What's your list?
Bengals won.
At the top.
Chiefs, Bengals,
Colts?
Jets, Jags,
Texans?
Dolphins,
Jets, Dolphins 4,
Bills,
5 Bills,
and
No,
Ravens.
no. Jets, Jags, Dolphins. So
Jets,
Dolphins
Jags.
5.
Oof.
What about the Raiders?
But to be fair, like
Broncos?
I don't think of it as like putting the Dolphins below these teams. I think after the Chiefs and Bengals, the next three are like shuffling.
Yeah.
And then I think at like 7, the Ravens are going to be fighting for that. If they have Lamar, they'll be fighting in that 2 to 4 range as well.
AFC's low.
Yeah.
Back to my other point, though, the Jets are gonna Jets this either by not getting Rodgers or by Rodgers being bad when he's on the Jets.
I think it's going to be by them getting Rodgers and he just not bought in. He's not
exactly. Something about this is not going to mesh right.
It's going to be the greatest quarterback.
That's just how I feel.
It's going to be like Brett Favre going there, where you have an all-time great Packer quarterback. Going to the Jets, and he stinks it the fuck up.
I think it's a little different.
I'm very worried about it
declined.
becoming a Russell Wilson situation. I don't think it'll be as big of a drop-off, but like the Jets
Rodgers
just find ways to ruin
Rodgers is on the decline, but
Not like
Brett retired.
Yeah,
like,
he
Brett
was straight
fully
up
retired,
out of football.
and he was like done. He was like old. He looked old as fuck. So does Rodgers, I guess.
Rodgers was actually.
But remember, Brett the Jet was just the name.
Rodgers was
Brett the
actually
Jet.
older than Brett Favre.
Was that when Brett Favre was doing
but Brett
some
Favre
dick pics?
played a lot older. Yeah, it was around
Dick
that
pics
era.
with the Jets, right?
Yeah.
Dick pic Brett. Yep.
classic Jets. That you see, you're just helping prove my point.
Yeah.
The Jets
All right.
always find ways to ruin good things. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Yeah, they do.
Other things that happened this week: the Bears made a big trade, got DJ Moore, giving up the first overall.
Hey,
That's big for the team.
huge for us, bro.
That's big for the squad,
That's huge for our
man.
boys.
Yo, huge for their dynasty team. Jack, what's your initial reaction?
Dude, DJ Moore with that Bears team with Justin Fields, he's finally going to make that leap his 3rd year. I think he could end up being a fringe top 5 quarterback at the end of this season. I don't think that's too crazy to say.
Can I double down on what you just said?
Hey, hell yeah. I thought you were going to fucking be like, what the hell are you talking about?
He said that shit earlier. I'm thinking. I think it's crazy you guys are saying that.
I think Justin Fields
top 5.
I think Justin Fields is legitimately going to make a top 5 jump. Now,
Jump to where he's in that conversation.
Correct.
Yes.
Now let's talk about it, because coming into, or let's rephrase, at the draft before the Eagles got AJ Brown, not a single person was willing to put Jalen Hurts in that top 5. His rushing ability
They
was
wouldn't even put him in top 10.
exactly.
I wouldn't even say 15.
His rushing ability was the only thing that was attractive, but people failed to recognize
face.
that's and his quads and his thighs. His thighs.
He's beautiful.
But people failed to recognize that like there was potential as a passer as well. Justin Fields feels very similar. Justin Fields as a rushing quarterback is fantastic, one of the best in the NFL, if not the best in the NFL. But he's a much better passer than Jalen Hurts.
And you saw it in college, too. Justin Fields was elite.
Unbelievable. So now we look at it and it's like, okay, well, I look at the sample size of like Josh Allen in year 3 gets Stephon Diggs, takes a jump. Jalen Hurts in year 3 gets AJ Brown, takes a jump. Tua in year 3 gets Tyreek Hill, takes a jump. Justin Fields in year 3 is getting DJ Moore.
Yeah, but DJ Moore isn't those guys.
DJ Moore has been a more
DJ Moore
isn't
AJ Brown was
Brown.
that guy, though. I don't
DJ
think.
Moore
DJ
isn't Tyreek Hill. DJ
That's
Moore
not my point, but
isn't
DJ
Stephon
Moore
Diggs.
could be AJ Brown.
I'm just saying, like, he
here's
isn't
the
that
thing.
type of
When
guy.
Stephon Diggs,
he hasn't proven yet that he can
before
be that type
Stephon
of
Diggs
guy.
got traded, he was not that guy. He goes to Josh Allen, is by far the alpha wide receiver 1, helps him take that leap. Now he's that guy. DJ Moore could do that with Justin Fields.
DJ Moore's been one of the
Diggs
most
was special in
consistent and
Minnesota.
underappreciated wide receivers in the NFL over the last couple years. AJ Brown was unbelievable from a physical test.
From Tennessee, yeah, he was great.
No,
I'm
he
just
was
saying,
worse than DJ Moore, and DJ Moore was in a worse
just
situation.
saying,
I don't
in
know.
Tennessee-
AJ Brown was really fucking
In
Stat-
Tennessee,
stats-wise.
AJ Brown was really good.
But-
But in Carolina, granted it's Carolina, DJ Moore, like, he was good, but like he was not like making noise the same way AJ
No, he's
Brown
not my
was.
fantasy
He
team last
was
couple years.
better-
He
he was
wasn't a
better
dog.
than- he was better than AJ Brown. He just played in Carolina with Teddy Bridgewater, Sam Darnold, like
Baker.
a bunch of guys, Baker, like
Fucking Matt Corral,
DJ
maybe.
Moore's
his
one of the-
stats were better. That's all we're trying to say. Like the
Yeah.
Titans were making noise in the playoffs. That's why AJ Brown had a bigger
Correct.
name. But DJ Moore, and it's just the alpha receivers like that are just big, like X's, like 6'4" guys that can go up and get it, like TO type guys are gonna get more hype than your DJ Moore.
AJ Brown also he went to college play with DK Metcalf.
There was more hype.
These two physical freaks. Like
I think DJ Moore's, again, he's a top 10 wide receiver for me personally. I think he's like 8 through 10, but I think he's one of those guys where
he will be this year.
You're 100%.
Yeah.
You undervalue what he brings to the table because he was in Carolina. You put him with a quarterback in a arguably a system that's becoming better over time with all the cap and picks that they have. That's why I think Justin Fields can take that leap and be a top 5 quarterback, because you didn't say it with Jalen Hurts. So now we got to start recognizing those other variables that get into place. And
you know what's
happen.
so fun to me about this Bears wide receiver core now, which I think is top maybe 5 trio.
We should rank that.
Who else? Who's the other one?
Chase Claypool,
Chase
Darnell
Claypool,
Mooney,
yeah.
and DJ Moore.
You have DJ Moore, who is very versatile, can do a lot of things as an alpha wide receiver.
He's the one.
And then Darnell Mooney is an awesome slot receiver. We saw what he could do as a number 2 in Chicago like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
When they made the playoffs with Mitch. Mitch was playing nice. Shout out Mitch Trubisky, my boy. And then you got Chase Claypool, who's a big body, go up and get it type of guy, fast. Like they have a wide receiver core, that trio that really complements each other super well. I love what Justin Fields has going for him.
Yeah.
I was trying to find
I was like, what you doing over there on the phone?
Trying to find the fucking grades from this year.
Well, yeah, DJ Moore is a huge addition because one is the versatility is so good. So we talk about what Debo has done for the 49ers. Yeah.
You could do that with Justin Fields.
What you can do with him all across the field as a receiver, as a running threat too, put him in the backfield, play a little running back, like he can do it all. So you have the more traditional receivers that obviously are going to complement very well. I think the biggest thing is that like they might not be the most explosive receiving threat or no
one's going to take top off on you.
Yeah, and it's not like you're not looking at like a Tyreek Hill and Waddle or like better receiving core, but they complement each other very well, and that's all Justin Fields needs to get better. Yeah. Now you get more picks too in the first round, which we didn't even talk about. Would they get 2 firsts, 2 seconds?
They fleeced.
Add linemen, bro. Like don't add these fucking stupid positions, linebackers and safeties and corners. That shit doesn't fucking matter. They gotta add linemen and then they just
sign like a Mike McGlinchey, like
draft offensive linemen because they're going to be there for years, and that's what's going to build your team.
What I saw?
What?
Draft JSN. The Bears go out, draft JSN. Now you have DJ Moore, Jackson Smith, and Jake Butt, Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool's now your 4.
Shit.
Well, yeah,
but that's the flashy play, but like that's not the play they need.
Actually,
the Bears need linebackers. They need some defensive linemen.
I agree, but I still think it's a need. I think wide receiver, you're not set at wide receiver. Chase Claypool's.
I agree
besides being a top 3 wide receiver, Chase Claypool,
Look, if they have the right value, if they get the right value for JSN, then I see that. Like, if there's no lineman right there screaming at them, what do you know exactly when their picks are in the draft?
So now they have the 9th pick, I believe. And then they also got, which is crazy because they're going to have the number 1 overall pick next year as well because Carolina's going to be the worst team in the NFL.
Wow.
Oh, they're going to be so bad.
So
they're going to be really bad.
Do you know when is it? When's their second first round pick this year? Do they?
I don't know if they do have one.
Oh, okay.
I think they only traded back.
It's only that
because they got DJ Moore.
But you still have the 9 pick.
Oh, no, it's great.
Really good.
And I think they're going to trade back again. They could probably.
So look, if they think they can get linemen in the second round for good value, then like awesome. But all I'm saying is like that's how you're really going to build that.
Drafting at 9 with the amount of quarterbacks that are going to get taken early and maybe like a wide receiver or like some interior defensive lineman getting drafted, you could go out and get maybe the best offensive lineman in the draft.
You're in a great spot. But what does it mean for Carolina by trading that many picks to potentially go out and get CJ Stroud? Because that's what they're saying. They prefer CJ Stroud over Bryce Young.
Well, I was going to say, who is Carolina going to take with the first overall pick?
CJ Stroud before the trade was plus 500 to go first overall. Now he's minus 350.
Wow.
Like it's almost a given.
But is that the definition of what we talk about in terms of organizational negligence to do that for CJ Stroud? Because you could have got him at 2, 3, or 4.
If you love him, then you got to do it.
We don't know what CJ Stroud is going to be. He was awesome at Ohio State. No one knows until we see it on the field. If he ends up being that franchise guy, great fucking trade for the Carolina Panthers. Yep. That's all that matters. I don't care how much you give up. If you found your dude, that's your guy to lead your team for the next 10, 15 years. Great trade.
That's fair. I think Bryce Young is, you have to, even though it's worrisome.
But there's a reason we're not sitting in the GM chairs and shit or not scouts.
But could you have gotten CJ Stroud at 3?
We don't.
I think you could have got CJ Stroud at 3. I don't think you needed to go to number 1 to jump over Houston because I think they're going to take Bryce Young.
But let's say someone takes Bryce Young first overall, then it gets dicey at number 2.
Yeah,
because the Texans need a quarterback.
Yes, but the Cardinals aren't taking a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, hey, here's the thing.
Are they 3?
They're 3.
Maybe the Cardinals weren't willing to trade that pick. I don't know. The Bears are very openly trying to trade that first pick. And so you go and get that, and you guarantee if you're the first overall pick that you're going to get exactly who you want. You have months to a month to figure this out of who exactly you want to draft at that pick, and you're good to go.
I'm so excited for Chicago because, like I said, they're going to have the number 1 pick next year.
Yeah,
dude, I've never seen all my Chicago friends like they were celebrating like they just won a playoff game, getting DJ Moore and everything.
It feels like it. To be
honest. For Carolina though, like you talk about trading up to get CJ Stroud, and if they should take Bryce Young or whatever, they really love C.J. Stroud, then that's who they're going to go get. And if you have the confidence that he's going to be your franchise quarterback for the future, we've seen it doesn't even matter what the other teams are going to do. Like we've seen the Eagles trade up and go get Carson Wentz, a guy out of North Dakota State. That
he looked great for a little.
That what you're going to judge a guy off of what he did in college at North Dakota State playing very bad competition and stuff like that. But they loved him and they got a Super Bowl out of it. So. And similar to what the Niners traded up, right, when they went to go get Trey Lance. So that was their guy, and Trey could have fallen to them, but it's just you don't want to take a risk when it's something like that.
I have no clue how Trey's going to work out for the 49ers, but if he does, that trade, cool. If he wins the Super Bowl for the 49ers, I don't give a shit what the hell he gave up. We fleeced the Dolphins.
That's with any trade. It's you hope it's going to work out, especially with picks, right?
And no one cares.
That's the thing with
it's picks. It has to pan out, otherwise it wasn't worth it. But you don't know if it was worth it until it does pan out. So
and nobody cares. Like a fan base don't care. Like you won't care if Trey Lance doesn't work out. Like your team went out and tried to get their guy. It didn't work out.
Yeah, you'd care a little bit.
I don't think you care because
I wouldn't care because I have Brock Purdy. Actually, that's why I wouldn't care.
Well. But
if he's the only option we had to be.
As a fan, you understand your team is going to go get that quarterback. If you have a quarterback in there, if you have a Joe Burrow, you're set for the next 10, 15 years.
But Joe Burrows don't come along every draft.
Yeah, but that's why you trade up to go get Joe Burrow. That's why you try
to trade up, number one, because you were saying
Stroud.
C.J. Stroud is the most accurate quarterback in this draft. He has the high ceiling. We're getting that motherfucker.
Yeah.
He is the most accurate quarterback in the entire draft.
If you are desperate for that franchise guy, it's totally worth it.
Carolina's been desperate. Carolina's been desperate. Can we?
Who's the best quarterback? Is Cam Newton the best quarterback in their history?
Yeah,
probably.
Who else?
Yeah,
and Jake Delhomme.
Probably Jake Delhomme. I would Cam. Oh, Cam had a higher peak.
Dude, Cam was
Jake Delhomme was more
filthy.
consistent. To be honest,
he still made a Super Bowl too.
Yeah,
Cam was so filthy.
Can we rank wide receiver trios now? Now that the Bears have
hard.
Darnell Mooney, DJ Moore, and Chase Claypool.
Bengals won.
Yeah, that's
Is it easier to do duos?
Duos and the Bears honestly don't really rank up there because I think the Bears trio is
super complete, but they're not as high.
Like DJ Moore and Darnell Mooney doesn't really.
Yeah. Okay, so at one we got the Bengals.
Yeah.
As wide receiver trios. Two.
Who's the Dolphins' third receiver?
Right now, Cedric Wilson, but he might get traded. But that's the issue is that you don't really have full-on trios.
What about the Vikings?
The Niners is okay.
JJ Thielen, and who's their third receiver?
Oh, KJ Osborne?
It's probably
Thielen's gone.
He's out?
Thielen's gone.
Before, though, I would put the Vikings probably two.
What if we did quarterback, wide receiver?
Dude.
Well, that's...
I just feel like I'm starting to think trios, and you can't rank really trios because there's so many people getting cut.
Niners actually have a pretty decent one. Debo, Ayuk, and Jawan Jennings, third and Jawan.
That is
not
actually
bad. Third and Jawan.
That actually is a pretty good trio.
That's what we always say, bro. He always gets that third down catch.
What about Kenny Galladay and Isaiah Hodgins?
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Oh wait, we can do trios including tight ends.
So wide receiver, tight end.
Or it can be three wide receivers. It can be three tight ends.
I kind of like quarterback, wide receiver, though. I feel like that's an interesting one.
Let's do.
That's a tough one, though.
Although we're doing this on the spot, we did not plan for this.
It's so hard.
That's an interesting one because now you got. Let's do that. I think
with the tight end.
No, quarterback, wide receiver, or you could do quarterback, wide receiver, tight end. So
you want to add a quarterback in it?
I think a quarterback.
But the quarterback has nothing to do with receiving the ball.
I agree. I think we do jacks.
He throws the ball.
Yeah.
I think we do jacks.
Two receivers and tight end. That could be a trio. Or it could be three receivers. But a tight end can be included.
Or what about a trio of just weapons? It can include a running back. It can include
I think you got to do weapons because it's so up in the air.
So it's just a best three people on your team.
All right.
It literally could be fucking anyone.
So we can include quarterbacks because in the Bears, if you don't include Justin Fields, the Bears are going to be average of the league, even with the two.
So what are we doing then?
Okay,
My brain is jumbled.
Offensive trios, any offensive trios. Okay.
Right.
So the best trios on offense. So literally like fucking. I mean,
Patrick Mahomes, Kelce, and the Water Boy is the best trio.
Patrick Mahomes, Kelce, and whoever the fuck is the third guy.
Yeah,
that's number one.
Okay, wait. Yeah.
It don't matter.
All right.
So
Hurts.
So you're putting in terms
Brown,
of trios
Smith?
with whoever you're putting Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and whoever
the fuck it
I'm
is.
gonna probably put
One.
Joe Burrow, Jamar, and T over them.
I still won't.
Over them,
Bro,
no.
it's. I mean,
Just because I don't know.
Patrick Mahomes is so good.
No, they're two though. The Bengals are two.
But just because I don't
agree.
know who even the one wide receiver is.
For the Chiefs?
Yes.
You don't need to know. It's Travis Kelce. Who gives a fuck who the third
It's
guy
the
is?
Water Boy, the fucking ball boy. I don't care.
You don't think he's going to be open? You don't think the third guy's going to be open? You get a janitor off the street. You don't think Travis Kelce's going to be taking double coverage? This guy's going to be fucking wide open?
That was cool. You didn't. That was
That was good.
That was good.
I'm
But he's
impressed.
actually, I mean,
He's not wrong.
he's really right.
I don't know how to rank this. It's so hard.
Niners
all
got to
right.
go in without
If
quarterback.
you want to be
though.
realistic, we're not going to get a water boy off the street. Fine. Bengals won.
Bengals won.
And then, now can I say Patrick Mahomes?
Now
I'm
you
trying to
can say
sell
Patrick
the
Mahomes.
janitor. All right. And then probably Jalen.
McCaffrey, Debo, and Kittle.
That's a good one.
Yeah, if they
Yeah,
gotta stay
then I'll
healthy,
probably go
yeah.
That's gotta be.
49ers.
That's
If
gotta
they can
be.
stay healthy, sure.
Now
yeah.
again, because we're ranking skill positions, you could take a quarterback, you
That's
could take
gotta
a
be
running back, you
three.
could take
Okay,
a wide
but I'll
receiver.
do that. I like that.
Then I probably
I'm gonna go Hurts,
I think-
Devontae Smith, and AJ Brown.
I
Yep.
think then I put Dolphins. Just
Yeah.
you have to with Tyreek Waddle and
Well, yeah, I would
probably-
go Tua, Waddle, and River Craycraft. That's obviously in there.
Well, he
you
is
probably
under
do go
contract.
Dolphins.
He is under contract.
I love River. Hey, Niner
Okay, hold
legend.
up. If the Jets get Rodgers, Brees Hall, and Garrett Wilson.
I agree.
Woo!
Okay, so
agree.
where
They
do they go?
They might be two after the Bengals. Bro.
That's nasty.
Oh my
I don't know if I
God.
could put them
Is
there.
Brees Hall gonna be
just
healthy to
because
start the
Brees Hall is
season?
going to be out for half
about-
a year.
Yeah.
Half?
Yeah.
T-Law,
Is
ETN,
ACL.
and Calvin Ridley.
Who's it?
T-Law, ETN, and Calvin
This is
Ridley.
good.
Fuck, that's
Wait, we're
nasty.
all over the place right now. We're
That's
all over the
nasty.
place.
Oh, Herbert, Eckler, and Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
I think
that's good.
Alex Eckler's overrated.
But that Jags,
that's
Jags
great.
trio
He's a
is
great
fucking
fantasy running back.
crazy.
He's not a great running
Fair.
back.
That's fair.
What do you do to you, bro? You used to be on the Eckler train heavy, and now like I've noticed recently you've had some animosity towards Austin Eckler. What happened? I know y'all used to like play
I
like
love him.
video games or some shit together. So what happened?
Nothing.
He unfriended you on Xbox?
No, nothing. me and Eckler never played together, but I met him at
Sure.
an event.
Wasn't it Richard Sherman?
Okay, wait. So what does the top 5 look like?
Who did
I
you
don't
play?
fucking
Xbox
know.
No,
with?
I like the Jags a lot, bro. The Jags are nasty.
Well,
I
there's
agree.
like it's like Bengals in no order, like Bengals, Chiefs,
no
Niners,
order.
Jags, Dolphins,
Eagles, Dolphins,
Eagles.
Dolphins. Those I think
Jets with
are right there.
Rodgers.
Yeah, and the Jets if they get Rodgers.
So wait, so not the Bears.
No,
No, not
That
the
all
Bears.
started. That all started with.
But if we say
The
wide
Bears.
receiver trios, they're probably number 2 or 3.
I don't know.
They're very
John,
good.
The top 5 wide receiver trio.
we're
We
missing.
Can't even
we're
do
mi-
this shit.
What
bro.
about Seahawks? Gino, DK, and Tyler Lockett.
It's not bad.
Kenneth Walker.
Not Kenneth
Oh.
Walker.
Gino Smith, DK Metcalf, and
Wait.
Kenneth Walker.
No, don't
no,
disrespect Tyler Lockett.
I'm
like
not,
that. Get
but, like,
Geno the
Lockett,
fuck
Gino's
out.
out of that.
Lockett, Metcalf, and Walker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get
Who we
Geno
missing?
the fuck
Who we
out
missing?
of
Who we missing?
there. I'll do the Texans.
Lamar, Nelson Aguilar, and whoever, because he's going to the Patriots.
Bro, Michael Pittman, Sam
hope
Ellinger, and
so.
Jonathan Taylor.
That's a pretty good one.
Low key, the Cowboys too. Dak, CD, and
Pollard.
Pollard.
Schultz. Oh, Pollard.
Dalton's gone.
I guess so.
Is he gone?
Is he free agent?
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Yeah, we might resign him. I don't. I mean,
he's
unless somebody
gone.
drops the
He's
bag on him.
gone.
All right. Well, those are interesting.
How are you
trios.
ranking the top trios in the NFL? Let us know.
Yeah, let
we
me
didn't even
know.
know how to rank ours.
I have
so-
no idea how to rank it.
All right. Well,
The skill
we.
position is
It's a tough conversation, but we do got to wrap. Don't forget, by the way, to go
that
to the NHA. Go to the link in our bio and sign up to bet on NHA. You can do.
there was just a trade.
What was it? No house advantage, and
No house advantage. NHA.
they're giving 100% deposit match up to $100. So if you deposit $100 when you sign up, you're gonna get $100 back. If you
Which means 200.
yo
$100 plus
$200, $200.
We got a
Dude,
big trade in the
could
NFL.
use-
What's
What
the
is it?
trade?
Oh
Okay.
God,
what-
it's gonna be some bullshit trade.
The New England Patriots are trading tight end Jonnu Smith to the Falcons
For what?
for a 7th rounder.
What?
right.
Holy shit!
Holy fuck.
That 7th-round pick's about to be valuable.
That's a
man.
great way to end the
Tom
show.
Brady, last
Hey,
pick in the draft.
hey, how do we get Kyle Pitts even less involved in the offense?
Get another tight
You
end
get
to take
another
up
tight end.
space.
Nice.
Damn it.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Disagree with any of these takes? Let us know in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and for all your sportsbook needs, head over to thegameday.com. You'll find it all.